First off, thank you for being here. What's good, y'all? I hope everyone is chilling and vibing right now. It feels great to finally be giving a speech in person and not virtually. So yeah, let's get right into it. As many of you may know, my name is Abril, and I currently serve as one of the D6 representatives for UMB's FASA and as the treasurer of Fine District 6. And I'm excited to announce that I will be running for the treasurer position in FASA for the 2022-2023 school year. In my 2 years as a member of this amazing organization, I have met so many amazing people, and I've gotten so close with and learned so much from them. As many have wonderfully said as a daily ritual at this point, I am from the South. I grew up in a part of Maryland where I was unable to make Filipino friends, which oftentimes left me to be unable to relate to anyone. FASA has allowed me to meet people that I can relate to and limit any negative emotions and feelings I have. Whenever I'm sad or bored, I just go to tables and all of a sudden I'm 100 times better. I can go on and on about my experiences with this organization, but I think it's clear what I'm trying to say. And it's cliche, but I want to give back to an organization that's already done so much for me. But not only that, I want to improve the organization as well. Throughout this past year, I've had the pleasure of serving as the treasurer of Fine District 6, and during this time, I've been able to experience a roller coaster of emotions, from excitement to heartbreak to happiness and to satisfaction. But despite all these emotions, I've learned so much from my time as treasurer for Fine District 6, as I've had many successes as well as many mistakes. I've spent a lot of my time managing and raising the money for the organization and for all of the amazing events that we have ran, from volleyball to basketball, and probably most notably, at least in my eyes, semi. But aside from all the financial skills that I have gained, I've also developed a lot of professional skills, most notably my negotiation and outreach skills when it comes to working with other organizations. One thing that I'm sure many of the e-board members and probably some general body members are thinking right now, there's a huge difference in freedoms between a D6 treasurer and a treasurer at UMBC. Being a treasurer at UMBC will force me to work with UMBC SGA, as well as the many of the upper management that have to deal with student organizations here on campus. Fortunately, I already have some experience in this role, as I'm currently serving as the Vice President of Operations for the Information Systems Security Association. It has given me the opportunity to communicate with many of the individuals that play a great role in student organization events and funding. I'm confident that I will be able to adjust as needed when working with these people in the future. Earlier in my speech, I said not only do I want to give back to FASA, but I want to improve it. One of the first things I would love to work on as treasurer is the pillar of service. While as treasurer, it will be one of my responsibilities to manage the funds of the organization, I hope to also organize events that aid other charitable organizations, especially those that are dedicated to giving back to the Philippines and the Filipino-American community. Another thing that I would like to include in my mission as treasurer is to reach out to other organizations. There's so many for-profit and non-profit organizations outside of us that have the same mission and vision as us. My hope is that by establishing these connections with these groups, we're able to find the necessary resources and funding we need to do many of the things that our future e-board would love to do, as well as simply build some meaningful connections. Lastly, one of the final parts of my mission is to build a financial foundation for FASA that will allow us to become independent when needed. Of course, holding fundraisers will be a huge part of this, but another huge thing is building our network from, like I just said, reaching out to other organizations and businesses, which is something that I will work, of course, with eBoard on and consult with, especially the PR person. I'm aware of many of the complexities that surround UMBC student organizations, and as we can never be too careful on what's going to be thrown at us. This is something that will likely go beyond my term, and despite all this, I believe that it's necessary so that we may flourish in any situation. If I'm selected to be treasurer instead of Mr. Epstein, I will do my best to accomplish these goals and manage FASA's budget in the most responsible and effective manner. While I already have experience of being a treasurer, I'm always willing to learn more and improve. I'm willing to listen to others and be someone that takes everyone's ideas into consideration when we collaborate on find a solution. I would like to thank Allison, Lance, and Jeanette, and the many treasurers that have paved the way for me and will likely be there to help when I need advice. I would also like to thank Katz and D6 for shaping me into the passionate, hardworking, and experienced worker I am today. And lastly, I'd like to thank Nadine for being one of the most greatest financial minds in FASA history. Just kidding. That is Nadine from Pistahan. But I'd like to thank everyone here, everyone online, and just everyone that's part of FASA for being here and being part of an organization that I've grown to love. Thank you.